Nazi Germany. The final push into the heart of darkness. The SOE had recruited the 6 of us under my command for one reason: to retrieve files on the top-secret Project Phoenix, the last gasp of the Third Reich. A coalition of Allied commandos thrown together and aimed at where our enemy was most vulnerable. This was meant to be our first and only mission.
You'll never believe it, right? You'll never believe what I've just went and done. Made another Call of Duty video!
Big bada boom!
Okay, so Call of Duty Vanguard, another World War II game. Just what we all wanted, eh? Aye, it's no the best, I'm not going to lie to you. It's quite a drab experience. I'm only playing the Campagan. I had a wee bash of the zombies mode, but it was just lights, camera, bits and bobs, bright things here. The HUD was full on mess. I hated it and cancelled it right away. So the first level of this game, you're in the back of a train. Fair enough, train, it's raining. Graphics are lovely in this game. That's like a big standout, as the graphics are beautiful, but you know, graphics don't make a good game. Feels like an add-on for World War II. You know, it just feels like another half of the campaign of that game. It feels a lot more cartoony than that, though. Like, the guns are really modern looking, some of them, and some of them are just weird. It's like, what is this? This wouldn't, be out of place in a Halo game. Do you know what I mean? Very, very slick looking, but I'm not all that impressed, which is, it's the funny thing. And when you're going through the campaign, there's just not an awful lot of standout moments. There's a bit when you're in Stalingrad with the woman, the Russian Pollyanna, I think her name is, voiced by the lovely Laura Bailey. And that bit's quite good, but I'm just like, I've seen this all before. This is just not... It rings hollow, because you've got these two people taking on like an entire army, and it's so stupid. And it's like, yes, the Nightingale managed to start up all this trouble and inspired the rest of our people in Stalingrad to stand up and fight back against the Nazis. Now, was it just that one person that did that? I highly doubt it. She is a very accomplished sniper, though, which is quite cool. It's a fun level, but again, it's like snow, destroyed city. It's nothing you've not seen before. Turning into Fast and the Furious, this, isn't it? Then you've got Dominic Monaghan playing a Nazi soldier, and I'm like, okay, cool, he looks the part, actually. He looks like a wee Nazi. Looks like a wee snake in this game, which is, he was a hobbit, famously playing little people, so a weasel, it's a little thing, isn't it? Or it's also known as a stoat. So you'll meander from level to level and go, oh, that bit was quite fun, oh, this bit was quite fun. There's a Tobruk campaign as well, and that's it just shakes it up because it's sandy. Wow, sand, desert, amazing. You fight the Japanese in this as well, so once that had happened, I thought, this is shaping up to be a lesser version of World at War, which is pretty much how I would sum this up. It's a lesser version. I wouldn't pay any great amount of money for this. It's a rent at best. It's not a game you're going to come back to. I've got no desire to play this again, because there's just no standout moments for me. There's another flight mission. Yay, great. World War II had probably one of the worst flight missions I've ever played in my life. Just clouds, frustrating controls, and a long, boring mission. This one's a wee bit better. It's in cockpit this time. It's not behind the camera. Behind the vehicle. And you get to dive bomb a couple of ships, which actually is kind of annoying. Try to avoid the bullets. But it is more visually impressive. That's what I'm really going for, because the gameplay stays the same for just about every Call of Duty. I can't really say one Call of Duty is terribly worse than the others for gameplay past a certain point. Like, you take the first game to the third game, they all pretty much play the same. Take the fourth game to about now, they all play the same. Don't even know who made this. I think they all make every game now, because I was loading up Cold War to do a video on that. Exciting. And there was like Beanox and High Moon and Sledgehammer and There's like, does just every Activision studio work on every Call of Duty game now? So it's like there's no standout dev team. It's just a big homogeneous vat of pish. That's how it's looking. The characters, I can't even remember who they are. It's like the Dirty Half Dozen with no personality. There you go. Here's a wee quote for you. The Dirty Half Dozen with no personality whatsoever, because the game was written probably on the back of a fucking chocolate wrapper. And do you know what? Coming at the end of the game, you've got these big, stupid enemies, and the minute you start shooting them, there's just this gas. And I'm like, what is this? This is more like a Borderlands enemy. You know, it's more like an RPG enemy than something you'd find in a shooter game. Did they have these big super soldiers cutting about Germany? I don't think so. I think they wanted to, but they didn't. And they they take an awful lot of killing sometimes, and then you'll reload the save because you get killed the first time, and they'll die within seconds. So it's quite an uneven, inconsistent pish strap. And then you get to the end, and it just pretty much stops. The last mission, you jump between each of the 4 characters like you've been doing the whole game. Because everything was pretty much like a flashback. It's like, I tell what did you do before you ended up in this situation? You're like, who cares? It's all pish. They all end up in the same area, so who cares what they went through? What they doing now? Breaking out and dying? No, they don't die. It's just this. I just wish I could hit that fucking... Yeah, never mind. So you swap between the 4 and the last mission. It's quite... it's not really all that interesting, is it, now that I think about it? In fact, you know what? This game is bollocks. This is the worst Call of Duty campaign I've ever played. Boring, personalityless, regurgitated shite. Good night, people.